Greetings, brothers and sisters of the Creed. I'm Mr. Assassin. Today I am bringing you Kirby's Amazing Mirror review. It came out right after Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland for the Game Boy Advance, and the idea this time around was it was going to add multiplayer to a great fun game. Kind of like what they did back in the Super Nintendo days for Kirby Superstar, which was really fun because you had a second person who was the abilities character. Like if you found a parcel, you'd have Waddle Do or Waddle Dee, and if you have found a beam, you used it for your second person. You would have Waddle Doo running around with you, which is always fun. This game, though, it's not as fun because it's multiplayer through the Game Boy Advance, which was just like Game Boy, which required cables, and it had up to 4 people multiplayer, which meant that you had to have the 2 or 4 connector one, which was difficult as it was. I think this game would have been a lot better if they came out with it for the Nintendo DS, but I realized this came out before the Nintendo DS was ever, I think actually before it was ever thought of. So the storyline is that Meta Knight found the Amazing Mirror and he's going to use it to take over Dreamland, but what happens is it shatters and causing Kirby to have 3 of himself, and that there's an even more evil Meta Knight, like an actual evil Meta Knight, going around messing things up. So Kirby's got to stop both Meta Knights. Meta Knight's trying to stop himself as well. Overall, it's causes for a doppelganger kind of plot in video games. So it's nothing we haven't already seen before. All the powers are back from Kirby Nightmare in Dreamland. The only bad thing I have to say about this game is the fact that you have no way of knowing where you're going. There is a map, but you can't really see it half the time. You get lost really easily. That's all the way I can say it. Just you get lost really easy. The AIs for the other Kirbys, the green, red, and yellow Kirbys, they're not as smart as you would hope they would be. They can do things on their own. In fact, the entire time while you're playing, they're running around aimlessly, doing their own thing. And you can call them in at any given time, which is always fun. But it's kind of, they don't get themselves killed. They just get in the way of attacks too easily, and you're always having to watch them. In fact, you'll see here, they'll do their own thing, the AIs. They'll just walk around, they'll attack. If one of them doesn't have an ability, they'll just find the nearest ability and take care of it, and get their own ability. If they see an enemy, they'll actually go out of their way to attack it, which is kind of a problem in my mind. I don't want the AIs constantly trying to attack when I need them to be doing this or this. So, overall, I gotta give it the same old bullshit rating, which isn't a bad thing. It's never a bad thing to have the same old bullshit. It's just, it's something that we've already seen before, so there's no point in seeing it again unless you do something really well with it. So, and I can't really give it the same old bullshit because of the multiplayer aspect of it, but half the time you're not even playing multiplayer, so there's that. So, as always, brothers and sisters of the Creed, I'm Mr. Assassin. Until our paths meet again, safety and peace.